What's going on, guys? My name is Lieben, and as you guys can see, I am back with the gray 350Z. So now this is a video I've been promising to make for quite a while now, but I haven't had the chance because I'm still working on some things. But here we can see the Z, and it is actually running now. I'll go ahead and turn it on for you guys so you guys can see how it's running. It's not misfiring anymore. But the reason why it's been taking a while is actually because I was working on some of the damage that it had along here. From what I've seen, quite a few Z's have some rust there, so I was taking that off, and I went ahead and repainted the rear quarter panel and the door on both sides. And I actually didn't show you guys that, and that is because here the time is already changing. You can actually start feeling that it's getting kind of cold. It's like around 55 right now, so I was trying to get this done as quick as possible, so I wouldn't be spraying the paint in cold weather. But here, I'll go ahead and show you guys the other side. Here we have the other side too. Went ahead and tried repairing some of the rust and some of the damage that it had here. This right here was a bit difficult, so I don't know if you guys can see, but it has a lot of door dings on this curve. And that was just gonna take too much time to fix, so I decided just to leave that. But honestly, considering how it looked at first, I'll go ahead and see if I can find some pictures. But comparing to how it looked at the beginning, this car is turning out so great. I'm honestly so excited about this because it's been like such a long process. It's been about, like I've been saying, almost 5 years now that I've been trying to get this car to work, but here she is. So I'll go ahead and turn the car on now. But there are still a few things that I want to go ahead and do. For example, I have a kit to restore these headlights because they look super foggy, so I'll go ahead and do that too. And also, when I drive it, there's like a weird, like, not a grinding sound, but like a tire whooshing sound. That's best as I can describe it. But what I think it is the tire bearings, the wheel bearings. So what I'll have to go ahead and do is take the front tire off and check the wheel bearing to see if that's, well, actually I'll lift it up and just check to see if the tire wobbles. And if it looks like it is, then I'll have to go ahead and replace that one too. All right, and I'll go ahead and turn the car on now. And as you guys can see, I've been doing a lot of this in a hurry, so don't roast me because the car is pretty dirty on the outside and the inside. All right, and I'll also go ahead and slide the windows down so you guys can hear the exhaust too. This is the exhaust that I had on the blue 350Z when I bought it, and this one's quite a bit louder than the one that this one had that now the blue 350Z has. So here we go. And I hope you guys can hear me, but as you can see right now, there's no check engine light. That one's off. That was because of the misfire. It's kind of loud right now. It's technically a cold start. All I did was bring it down from up there, so it hasn't been on for a long time, so it's still pretty loud. But once it warms up, it'll get a bit quieter. But yeah, let's go ahead and see the exhaust here. And I'll go ahead and pop open the hood. And here we have it, guys. So I don't know if you guys can remember, the last time I made a video on this car was about halfway through the year, but this car did not sound anything like this. It was backfiring. It just sounded really horrible. And now the only noise I can hear right now, I think, is the timing belt. It's just squeaking a little bit, but I mean, once it gets warmed up, it normally goes away too. It could be because of the cold weather. But yeah, guys, I mean, here we have it. It is now in good working conditions, and like I said, there's just some few things I still need to take care of. I want to go ahead and find the cover for this battery. As you guys can see over there, it's like a trim that goes around here, and then the actual cover so you can inspect the battery. I want to go ahead and find that. Like I said, the wheel bearing, wheel hub and bearing assembly, I believe that's what they call it. I want to go ahead and get that checked out. Oh, and one of the tail lights in the back, actually, it's not a, it's the reverse light. I need to get that fixed too, because it is actually this one right here. It's a bit dangly, so got to get that fixed as well. The other one on the other side, I think is good. Yeah, that one's good, so I need to go ahead and get this fixed as well. I need to go ahead and fix clean the inside because of all of the work I've been doing to it. It's pretty dusty in here, and give it a wash. But that's, I mean, that's pretty simple stuff that can be taken care of. Oh, another thing that I did forget to mention was that I also went ahead and painted the front bumper. I don't know what material this bumper is made out of, but it was weird when I was sanding it. If you go too far into the material, it gets really rough. I've never seen a bumper that does that, so I'm guessing it's not plastic. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah, that was a bit weird. I have the emblem too. I just haven't gotten the double-sided tape so I can stick that back on there. But yeah, I mean, it didn't turn out that bad considering how it was before. It was all cracked and broken. It's a lot better than how it was. And then down here, it's just a bit dusty too. That I can just go ahead and put some soap and water, and that'll get that cleaned off as well, so that's not a big deal. All right, so I'll go ahead and do some small revs. I am here in my neighborhood, so I don't want to be too loud, but just to go ahead and show you guys how it sounds. Like I said, this exhaust is quite a bit louder than my blue one, so I don't want to make too much noise. It's actually pretty quiet here in my neighborhood, so I'll eventually go somewhere else and do some more revs, just so you guys can hear it better. But yeah, guys, I mean, this was pretty much an update video to go ahead and show you guys. I might insert some driving clips. I'm not quite sure. I haven't decided quite yet if I want to go ahead and do that, but I might go ahead and show you guys how it drives. Okay guys, so it's the next day. I was editing the video clips, and then I realized that I didn't even say why the car was misfiring. So I decided to go ahead and do this driving clip, so then I can go ahead and basically explain what was wrong with the engine that caused the misfire. I haven't turned on this car all morning, so this is actually going to be a true cold start. And because I do live on a hill right now, you guys will see my struggle every day when I'm taking out a car or putting it in the driveway. I normally leave my Bluesy in the street because of that same reason, but hopefully right now I'll try to keep the car from scraping. So I'll go ahead and turn the car on now. I also have today in here the car, my cheap little action camera, so I'll also go ahead and see how that goes. I'll try to probably use the audio clip from this camera that I'm using right now because it has, I'm pretty sure it has clearer audio, and then I'll try to use the video footage right here just because there's not really anywhere to put this camera. I have it just like on a tripod, so there's not really anywhere to put it in this car, and I don't want to be driving around holding this in my hand, so that's what I'll probably go ahead and do. Alright, and there we have it, guys. I was able to get out of the driveway, and surprisingly it did not scratch, so that's a good thing. I'm just gonna leave the car right here for a little bit while it warms up. So basically, like I was saying, this car did have a misfire, and surprisingly enough, the reason or the cause of the misfire was that it had two ignition coils that were faulty, And the reason, I don't know, in my last video I said that I was pretty sure it wasn't that, and that was because I had already changed them twice. When I first bought the engine for this car, I did a full tune-up and I changed the ignition coils on him and the spark plugs. And then I can't remember why was the reason, but something happened. I think it was for that same misfire. I changed them again. So I had 2 sets of ignition coils that were replaced on the car, and none of them made any difference. And then when I put my scanner on it to read it, it also said that it had a misfire, multiple misfire. So then I changed them again, but that didn't seem to do it. But I think the problem was that I was using cheap online ones, and well, I mean, I just had bad luck with them for buying cheap ones instead of buying OEM. So what I ended up doing is going to a trusted mechanic that I brought my cars to before, and he told me the same thing. He confirmed that it was the ignition coil. It was ignition coil on cylinder number 6 and 5. So I went ahead and replaced those. And then when I got back, I confirmed that the set of the set of ignition coils, I mean, that I had bought were bad, because like a few days later, cylinder number 3 had a misfire, but I was then pretty sure that it was the ignition coils. So I changed that one, and now you have how the car sounds here, that it's super quiet now and smooth. So now I'll just go ahead and take it on a test drive. Hopefully you guys can hear the wheel sound that I was talking about. One of the weird things about driving this car too is that I'm so used to driving my manual car that every time I'm about to do a full stop or about to put it in first, basically start driving, I always want to find the clutch, but there isn't anything, so I just like stop my foot on the floor or in the air and then go. It is a bit different too, because unlike my manual one, I know that once I let go of the clutch and put the gas, push in the gas pedal, the car will go. This one, from what I've heard, because of the automatic transmission, sometimes there is a little bit of lag, and I definitely do experience that with the shifts. I don't know if you guys heard it right there, but it was pretty loud when I stopped. The wheel noise that it does it pretty loud. But you can also hear it right now as I'm driving, which is why I'm not sure if it's, I'm leaning more towards it's not the brakes. Another thing that I've noticed too is that when I put this car in manual mode, it tends to be quite a bit more responsive. It's still not as good as, in my opinion, it's not as good as driving it in manual, but it does make it more enjoyable than just having it actually in full automatic drive. And we got a nice little straightaway right here, so I can go ahead and step on it. I mean, I gotta say that exhaust once in a while, I mean, it sounds nice. I got pretty annoyed of having to hear it like every day. It's a bit too drony, but when you step on it, honestly, it sounds pretty nice. good thing is that the brakes do feel good too. It doesn't feel like it's pulsating. It doesn't feel like it's pushing me from any side when I do brake, which is again another reason why I'm feeling like it's not going to be the brakes. But then again, I have to go ahead and take the car apart to check it out. And there we go again. I was able to put the car in here without it scratching. The good thing is that this one isn't on coilover, so it's quite a bit higher up than my Blue Z. Because yeah, my Blue Z, anytime I try to slant as much as possible so it doesn't scratch, it always does. But yeah, guys, that was just a quick little lap around in this Gray Z. But yeah, this whole video was basically just an update, so I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next one.